All right, good morning, guys. So we are starting our 1-point perspective drawing. You can decide right now whether you want to be horizontal, long from side to side, or you want to be vertical, long from top to bottom. Either way is totally fine. Now, you guys, a couple weeks ago, learned about the horizon line. When we put our horizon line on the paper, remember you want it to be middle or above. So right now, on your paper, whether you decided horizontal or vertical, go ahead and put your horizon line somewhere above the middle. Now, it's up to you, but the more, I broke my pencil, but the further up you put it, the more room you have to work on things that are on the ground. Okay. Remember, it should be completely straight across. It shouldn't have any sort of wobbles or waves. It's going to be totally straight. Now, once I've got that, I'm going to go put my vanishing point on there. Remember that we learned the vanishing point can be anywhere along that line, left to right, as long as it's on the line. So just put a tiny hash mark wherever you'd like yours to be. I will pause while you guys do that and get yourself settled. Okay. Now from here, we're going to go in and add our path. We're going to add a straight path first because that will be the easiest way for us to get settled. One end of it has to start on the vanishing point, and the other part needs to angle. It can angle to the left or the right. You just don't want it to go straight out or straight down. Okay? So I'm going to angle mine to the right. My first one touches the vanishing point and comes down. And when I go to add my second line, how I add it is going to depend on how wide it is. So for example, if I make it a wider angle at the top, it looks like I'm zooming in closer. Like picture yourself in a little drone with a camera, zooming in and down. However, if I make it a more acute angle at the top, then it's going to look like I'm further out, further back. Regardless, it must go to the vanishing point. What you do not want to see is for it to be a trapezoid. So if it looks like this, then that's a problem. You need a triangle. All right, does everybody have their path? Go ahead and get that on there. And once you've gotten that on there, I would like you to get your list of things that you had last week. So you came up with a little list, you may not have if you weren't here, of where you were going to be. For example, I said if I was going to be on the beach, I'm going to have little beach huts. I'm going to have umbrellas. I'm going to have chairs, towels, and beach balls. Okay? Or if I said, you know what, I'm going to be in the woods. So in the woods, maybe I've got trees, some cabins, some bears, and some, let's say rocks. Rocks are good. Okay. Whatever is on my list, I'm going to be picking the biggest thing. So for me, if I'm doing my woods, then, trees are bigger than cabins. Trees are bigger than bears. Trees are bigger than rocks. So I'm going to start with trees. I want you to look at your list and see what the biggest thing is. Okay? So look at your list, see what the biggest thing is. Got it? Give me a thumbs up if you've got it. Okay. We're going to go one item at a time. So we're going to start with whatever that biggest item is that you've identified. So for me, that's trees. And I'm starting on that horizon line, itty bitty teeny tiny, because they're far away. They're in the distance so far away that they look like they're about to disappear. So whatever thing that you put that was little, I'd like you to go ahead and, or the biggest thing on your list, put an itty bitty bitty on your horizon line. Remember, how you spread them out is up to you. Yes, ma'am.
Just one big thing.
Well, this is a situation where you're working on the land. So you're working on the stuff that is on the land because it's a landscape. So it will not work for it to be quote-unquote mountains or something like that, because a mountain, in our case, would be in the background. Or a farm, you're going to need multiple ones. So what were you thinking? Okay, so you're going to need multiple barns. So, for example, if I was doing a barn, then when I came in to do my piece, and I've got my horizon line and my vanishing point, and I've got my distance, I'm going to need to do not just a single barn, but farmland. So I might have one barn back here in the distance. This is my faraway barn. And there's its silo. Then we're going to come down to the next level in just a second. Does that make sense? Okay. Alright. Now that I've got my first level, I'm going to come down another level. So essentially I'm just dropping down. I'm going to stay on the same level. And I'm going to make another row of those same objects. They're going to be a little bit bigger. And it shouldn't be a size where you have to guess if it's bigger. It should be pretty obvious to the viewer, like, oh, that's bigger than that. So I'm getting some nice conifers here. And you'll notice I'm sticking with whatever size it is that I've picked for that area. So I've got my first level, my second level. When you've drawn your second level of your objects, I want you to look down and make sure that those are all the same size and that there's a clear size difference. Don't worry about the super tiny details yet. So if you're like, oh no, I need the pine needles, I need the pine cone, I need the shingles on my house, you're okay. Just give it a minute. Just get your basic size correct right now. And you've got that, if you'll put a hand on your head so that I know you're ready to move on. Try not to give yourself a concussion while you do it, as that is viewed unfavorably. All right. Now, we're going to continue this pattern. We're going to come down another level, and we're going to get even bigger than what we were last time. Remember, it should be a very clear size difference. I shouldn't have to squint or guess to know that it's bigger. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, but it looks like they're lined up. It is okay if you come in and overlap at that level. That's totally fine. But make sure you're staying level across and that you're going with that same larger size. And then you can repeat that one more down if you have room. And it is okay if it runs off. So like in this situation, let's say I wanted to go really far forward. If I'm like, oh, there's not enough room. Like maybe the bottom would be down here. That's okay. And it can overlap. Because we know things really overlap in nature all the time.